it's Dr. Jenny from the blog, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel, and if you're returning, welcome back. And also welcome back to myself, because it's been a minute since I last made a video, and I feel like in the last few videos I keep saying so much has happened, but so much really has happened. But today I'm not going to use that video to talk about the last year and a half, because I think with the next couple of videos that I'm going to share with you, parts and pieces of that are going to be kind of revealed through what I'm sharing in terms of topics. So I think we'll be good on that angle. I don't want to waste our time with a catch-up video, because I feel like the video before last was a catch-up video. So, with that, today I want to talk about self-awareness, because I feel like it's been a big part of this year and some change away. And just from practicing psychology, or being a therapist, psychologist, whatever, for the amount of time I've had, I definitely see self-awareness as being such an important piece of our own growth, of our own development, and just like how we really move towards living a life that feels more values congruent. So that's what I'm gonna get into today. But before I do that, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Get me in that algorithm, because I'm probably not even in it. And yeah, so let's just jump into it. So when I'm talking about self-awareness, I define it as this process of really being able to see myself more clearly, and using self-reflection, introspection, and even feedback to help me understand like how I'm showing up in the world, how I'm impacting others, and really just kind of doing this thorough investigation of my strengths and areas where I still need to grow. And so that's how I see self-reflection. And I've seen it be such a vital part of therapy, because, when people come into the door, I'm asking them, what are your goals? And you have to have some form, a little bit of self-awareness to understand like why you're here. Why are you trying to, make a change? And maybe even what are you trying to make a change towards? And they're kind of two different things, because sometimes people come in the door and they know that something's off, but they don't really know where they're moving towards. So both of those pieces are part of self-awareness. Cultivating self-awareness is not intuitive for everybody. I really try to emphasize that, because I think I hear oftentimes people are like, well, why didn't you do that? Or you should know better. And that's not how self-awareness works. Not for everybody, at least. Some of us can kind of just sense it and feel the vibes are off, and then do these really thorough and, question asking moments and prompts and whatever else to really help, illuminate what's going on. And some of us just don't. And I think for those of us who it doesn't come intuitively, usually something has to happen for us to get kind of that jump start to asking ourselves these really important questions about, how do I impact others? How am I showing up? How do I want to live? So I just want us to, really give each other grace, because it's not always intuitive. And even for some of us who are more self-aware, I feel like I'm kind of on that path. There are still things that have to happen for me to really lean in and get into that process. So that's part one of that. So one of the, I think, most foundational pieces of cultivating self-awareness is knowing our values. And I think about values as the anchors to living. These are the things that, give us our purpose. These are the things that we are striving towards, whether explicitly or implicitly. And so if you're, sitting here right now and you're like, I don't really know my values, that's okay. That means that's where your work starts. And for those of you that are like, yeah, I do know what I value, great. Then with that, we'll talk about, are you moving towards those values, or are you engaging in behaviors that are moving you away from those values? And so once you have a good inner working understanding of like, what do you value? Then you move on to that next step of, what am I doing? And I think in this moment, it can be really tough to be honest with ourselves, because we really have to uncover every stone. Not everything about us is positive. We all have habits. We all have ways of showing up that, can negatively impact ourselves, the people around us, our environments, etc. And so for me, this process of self-awareness has been at times very painful. And I want to normalize that. I think sometimes we talk about the journey of self-learning, and it can be fun and it can be exciting and it can bring lots of positive things up, but it can also be really, really tough. And so I also want to normalize giving grace to ourselves, because the point of owning and becoming more self-aware is to not tear ourselves down, but to really open ourselves up to understanding ourselves more genuinely. I've really found this as such a rich experience, because I'm getting to know me, the good, the bad, the ugly, and I'm, positioning myself in a way to take ownership of the narrative, to take ownership of my behaviors, to really recognize, what am I doing well? What are the values that I'm really living and shining through? And what are the values that I really care about and I need to do a little bit more legwork to get me there? So, I just want to, normalize that this process is going to be a roller coaster, period. Why self-awareness, right? Like, why even do it? And I think it's important to do it because it gives us perspective. Sometimes when things are happening, particularly I find with like other people, right? If you're not really aware of how you're contributing, how you're showing up, it's easy to point the finger and put everything on other people, on other circumstances, situations, and you don't take that accountability. So one, it helps you kind of start to see well, if I'm showing up in this way, no wonder people are reacting to me this way. Or if I'm, not giving this effort, no wonder I'm not, receiving whatever it is that I'm trying to work towards. So it gives us that perspective. I think another benefit of it is it makes us more honest and more human. When we're able to just really look at ourselves through this more, it's hard to be objective, right, about ourselves. But when we try to lean into that, it just helps us be more honest about our humanity. I think it helps us move away from perfection. And I think it helps us reconnect with just the realness and authenticity that each of us have, or that we can have, right? Like, we're neither all good nor all bad. And I think that honesty is just really, really important to cultivate in this process. And I think another big benefit is our ability to use self-awareness to engage in positive self-development. So when we are, really looking at ourselves deeply, really trying to do this work to understand how we're showing up, how we're impacting or not impacting, we start to think about, okay, well, I want to be more of this. So maybe these are the steps I need to take to get there. Maybe some of these behaviors over here are ones that I need to release because they're blocking me from getting to this next level in my life. So, if you have thoughts or questions, leave them in the comment section. Y'all know I'm good for getting in there and engaging, and I love to hear your thoughts, the thoughtful dialogue, and really just answering the really great questions that you all pose. So I will pause there for this first video. But yeah, just summarizing, I've definitely been in this moment of self-reflection for over a year now, and it's been hard, but so many good things have come from it. And so I'm wishing that all on to you. And, I'm back and I'm ready to talk about my journey, but I'm also ready to drop these gems. So we gonna get it in. And I appreciate y'all for tuning in, for coming back, for telling a friend. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. I'm working on the Instagram, getting that going. Anyways, thank you all. Check me out on the next video. And until then, take care of yourselves. All right, bye.
I like to be educated, but I'm so frustrated. Hello to my